of your own. Good News Certified Properties. We have a place for you. Remaining at Thika, 1.8 is the only amount that you're going to have, where there's security, there's electricity, there is water, and a vast neighborhood. Welcome, so that you can become one of us. This property is of Good News Certified Properties, and it is sold by us, not for other people. Welcome and be of your own. Build, stay, have a school, develop, and become. Karibu sana. The number to contact us is just down there. Reach out to us. We are genuine and excellent. Hello viewer, my name is Clint Mulia. They call me Mr. Positive, and I know you're wondering why Mr. Positive. First of all, I'll start by clarifying why Mr. Positive. Mr. Positive is because I'm positive in each and everything, and I usually like to be positive in everything that I usually do. Even in the terms of bad things, negative things, I usually like to be positive and see things in a positive manner, in a different perspective, more than or rather than how other people get to view it. So welcome so much today in this session, in this program. And I believe and I know without doubt we are going to share much more. My field of practicing expertise, what I do, I like motivating people. And when I do this, I do it in a professional manner and as a psychologist. And apart from that, I also do it as a guardian within the spiritualism, and getting to know that this is a calling. Why I usually get to do it because it is a calling to me. So you're very much welcomed. Feel not condemned. Feel encouraged and feel ready to work with me, because I'm ready to work with you in this journey and share with you what God has deposited in me and what I've been able to learn from this life. And I believe it's going to be of help towards this living. Today I want to talk to different set of people and encourage us, because as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself too, and I'm encouraging myself too. Within this life, it needs all of us to place all the energy that we have towards this goal of living and living in abundance and positively. The start today is whatever happens within life and whatever we are plays a big role in impacting one's living and livelihood. I'll start by saying we are what we are made by our society. Society plays big impact in our living, and also our upbringing plays a big role too on what we become. You can choose to become good or bad, which is a choice. Being bad, being good is a choice. And our actions are also a choice. Everything has a choice, and we are at liberty of choosing what we want to become. As we are working together, I want us not to walk in a blame game, and I don't want us to blame ourselves. I don't want you to blame yourself. I don't want you to blame your background. I don't want you to blame your parents. I don't want you to blame your academics. I don't want you to blame anything. I just want us to work together and just get to know out of it what can we learn, and how can we be able to bring it into the point of becoming better. There's two choices in this living. You choose to be worse than what you were, or rather than you choose to become even much more better. And today I would like us to discuss about being more better in this life. You can only become better if you know who you are. I'll start by asking you, who are you? Take a deep point and deep thought of asking, who am I really? It's not about what people say. Yes, it plays a role of what people say, and it plays a role on how they see you and what they see in you and about you. It can play a negative and a positive impact in your life, and at the same time, it can be positive. So what do you think you are? Let us shatter out what people have called you. Let us shatter out what people have seen you being, and let us come to this point. Whom do you think you are? At the end of the day, I would like us to come to a conclusion of who you are. If you can have a pen and a paper, you can write it down and just do self-analysis and just check out what you are. And at the end of it all, what do you crown it to become? Are you good? Are you bad? Are you peaceful? Are you in chaos? It doesn't matter. But what you say, it matters a lot. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you the stronger and the bigger, higher power that we get to draw from and what it makes us to become. I'll start by saying our parents play a big role by showing us what we are. We learn from them. We mirror what they do. It might be your background is of bad setup. It might be that you've been brought up in a place or in a manner that you wouldn't like it, and you like to blame it unto them. Well, it is right for you to do so. But what are you going to do about it? What is that thing doing to you? Is it impacting you in a positive manner or in a negative manner? This is a big question. Now, because there's a setup of bad parenting and good parenting. If you had good parenting, well, wonderful. If you had bad parenting, what are you going to do about it? Can you rewind the days? Can you just demolish everything what happened? No, you cannot. But you can be able to amend your conscious, your thinking, and your doing, and your actions. This is all that matters. I'll start by giving you two stories. And the very first story I'll tell you of one person, whom I'm going to call a person. You can give the gender that you want. This person came up from a very not lovely background, as we can crown it and call it. And this background just forced this person to become a different person because didn't like where or how and what happened within the raising up. This person worked out very hard to make sure that this livelihood will not repeat into his life or her life. And this livelihood was just so determined and dedicated to say that this life is not what I want, but I know what I want. I want to become better, and I want a better life than this. And surely, from a known position and a known background, worked very hard. Every gifting and talents, utilized them to just become good and better, and had a trust in what he was doing or what she was doing. If we can give it a gender or a name, we can give it to be you. And at this moment, this person decided, I'll not stick to this lowly life, and decided to act and met all the help that he needed or she needed to be in. And out of it, if I can tell you, he's successful. I'll give you on that perspective a name now of a guy that we schooled with. This person was known as Joe. And Joe was known as Joe the Tester. Joe the Tester was a guinea pig of anything that you like. You want to see if it is going to be well, it's going to be good or bad. Joe the Tester couldn't get to hear anything or grasp anything in the learning. Joe the Tester was good in playing. Joe the Tester was good in socializing and interacting with people, but didn't grasp anything in academic life. When we went into the laboratory for science or chemistry test, when wanted to test if a chemical is dangerous, Joe the Tester was the one who was being given the opportunity to test. He did dangerous things, even to a point whereby one day a lab blew out and the smoke was all over there and everyone left him and he collapsed. He couldn't continue with his academics because he was not getting anything and he felt he was wasting his time. But he sourced out to the power that he's having, socialization. He went out and started a small business of selling merchandise. And as we speak right now, he's even wealthier than most of us who were in that class. Why? Because he exercised socialization and utilized that wealth in him. The other person I want us to give a story, or rather than to learn from, is a person known as Mine. And if it is you, Mine, please forgive me, it's just an analogy. I'm not saying it is you. This Mine came from a very wonderful, well background, and parents, one was a doctor, another was a pilot, and Mine was a very rude person. Mine was a bully. Mine could do anything because believed that the background came from was a good background. She could do anything, even to the teachers. And she felt and believed that my life is all, and banked into the power of the parents. Contrary to Joe. Joe didn't have any background to bank in. And Mine decided that she's not going to study. She's not going to do that. And she was like, even if I study or not, I have a brain, I can perform. And at the end of the day, Mine became a vendor, or rather than a waiter, in a pub, in a restaurant. It broke my heart to one day go and see Mine, a person who came from a good and wonderful background. And what she was in need of help because she confessed and said, I don't know it. I've lost it all. My parents don't like me. No one's believing me. And now I'm hopeless. From these two stories, I want to say the biggest bank you can bank in is the bank of self-realization, self-awareness, self-ID, and becoming what you are. Do away with the past, do away with what has happened, and start walking in this journey, getting to know that I have what it takes. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself, that you can be able to make it. It doesn't matter what obstacles you're having. It doesn't matter what is happening. It doesn't matter what happened. You have a room as long as you have a life and you're living, you can be able to make it in this life and tomorrow. I'll say this. We have different set of people, different abilities. And I'll start by saying what people call them talents and gifting. I'll say these are the abilities. In addition to what you have in, just get to know your abilities and bank into them. First ability is musical ability. If you can be able to sing, you know that you can be able to follow the rhythm well, and you can be able to do those musical things, and you like it and you're happy, and you know that I can be able to do better than those other ordinary person, then you can follow that one. And there's a line and an opportunity for you. And this one, I can tell you, it can become a sound designer. You can work in music. You can work in different backgrounds. And you can be able to become who you are. Now, the other one is natural ability. Natural ability is a point whereby this person can be able to do things in a natural way. And when I say natural ability, is a point whereby naturally things that flow unto you and in the nature of affecting others and the things that are of life in general. And in natural ability, I can be able to say, you can become a farmer, you can become a cook, and you can become a health practitioner within that kind of a thing. A thing that is affecting other people's lives, and they are saying that you can be able to do it in an open manner without getting too strained. There is another one that's known as sports ability. Sports ability is a capability of ability. You can be able to push yourself beyond the limits. You can be able to do things that are pushing your body to another level. This one, you have a strong enthusiasm and a determination. You can be able to push it. You don't strain to do things which are physical, like the normal other people. This one, you can be able to engage yourself into sporting, and you can become a trainer, and you can become those kind of things. There are things that we call interpersonal abilities. The interpersonal ability, these are the abilities to be able to interact with people well. Social ability, the abilities of the story that we heard of Job, the ability to be able to interact with these people. This one has an opening for sales, counseling, law, and also you can become a law enforcer, because these things are natural and they are things that you can be able to push out and just make things to be right and correct the things which are wrong. The things we call intrapersonal. Intrapersonal are the things whereby you can be able to deal with the things that are affecting you personally. You deal with yourself first. You know yourself first. You identify yourself first. You can be able to look unto yourself and better yourself more than what you are and what you have been. You have the capacity of not being teared down by the negativity or the past things that has happened to you. And what we have within this intrapersonal ability, you can be able to become a therapist, a motivational speaker, an investor, and you can be able to expound in things that can be able to affect people's lives positively. There's another one ability we call logical ability. And this logical ability is a point whereby you can see things in a perspective that others don't see. This is a point whereby you start finding solutions of the things that you can be able to see are problems, but you want to solve them in a mechanical or in a practical more way. And this says you can be able to become a person like scientists, mathematicians. You can be able to become an inventor within that point. Those are the logical persons. And within that point, I'll speak about curiosity. In all these things, for you to become, you have to be curious. You cannot be able to make things if you are a contented person. Contentment, or rather than being just okay, is not okay. You have to walk away from that point where you are and feel that you want to be an extraordinary person away from the ordinary. And within that point of curiosity streams, you need to be able to find and ask, what am I? You remember that question? What do I want? Where do I want to go? How do I go there? Whom can I approach? What time is the best for this? What are the impacts? What are the outcomes? And then you can be able to answer yourself a question that you have really asked yourself, and you can be able to move on. The other one I want to add about linguistic. Linguistic is another ability. A linguistic is a person who's able to narrate, a narrator, an orator, a person who can be able to speak in different dialects and can be able to grasp different dialects or understand and speak in an easy way. A linguistic can become a writer, a speaker, a poet, or a translator. And these things will surely take you to another level. Welcome to the era, because we are in the era that things have become digitalized. And digital ability is another ability, whereby this digital world is become a global world, whereby everything is there within the digital. Even for you, you are watching and listening unto me from the digital world. I'm reaching to you or unto you through the digital point. What we have in the digital ability. A digital ability is whereby you have the ability to just operate these gadgets in an easy way without training. Within that field, you can become a CEO. And when I say a CEO, is a person whom you can be able to run your own things in an SEO. And if you know about SEO, I can tell you it's about socio-economic opportunities. And in a socio-economic opportunities, you can become anything that you want. In nowadays, we have doctors, we have therapists, we have teachers, we have sports persons, we are becoming different things. Now you can be able to translate that one. Also, there is a digital person who's helped me to reach out to you, to record this, to edit this, and to communicate this unto you to where you are. Now, there's another one which is a visual ability. And in visual ability is a point whereby you have a sight to see things in a different way. You can see things in a way that other people don't see. You can be able to understand things. You have a scope that others don't have. What can you be able to do this? You can become an animator. I'm using this word slowly because I can bite my tongue. An animator is a person who can be able to create stories and just bring mind out of mind. We are coming in a world whereby things are animated and just bring things in a better way rather than a story way. You visualize things. Whatever I'm talking unto you, a person can be able to create an animation, cartoon-like, or things to just make them to be seen and understood properly. You can also become an architect. Architect is a person who is seeing things, bringing things of a different world to the reality. These are the people who are designing the bridge, the houses, and the things that we have in the engineering. It is within there. And also in animation side, you can also become a graphic designer. So within that point, you can be able to walk and become. I believe you're trying to space yourself in a way of finding yourself. Despite the academical, despite the background, you can become. I'll ask you a question as we get to carry on. What is the background of the greatest people who became the greatest impact and who we learn and we see things? Who is the person that innovated airplane? Who is the person who innovated electricity? Who are these people? Who are the great people that we see? Who are the wealthiest people in the world? These people just believed in their abilities. Please, my friend, please, my viewer, can you bank in your ability and become what you're supposed to be? Now, as you think and launch deep into this, I'll finalize within these two last ability, which is the teaching ability. Teaching ability is a point whereby you can be able to illustrate and tell the things better than others people can be able to do. And within the teaching ability, these are the opportunities that are found within the teaching ability, starting with teaching. You just help others to become what they're supposed to be. And you can become a consultant too. You can become a creator in educational material and content, and you can become a parent. A parent is a teacher. And get me right, I'm not saying that you go become a parent when it's not right. Just get to know it within the time and just become a parent. The last one is spiritual ability. Spiritual ability is whereby you can be able to find things from higher calling, which is the higher point of being. Spiritual ability is whereby you can be able to become a philosopher. You can become a pastor. You can become a religious leader, and you can be able to lead others. Now, as we've come to this point, please remember today what we're talking about. Don't let anything bring you down. Don't let anything shut you up. But be able to just walk. Find yourself. Convince yourself. Believe in yourself and trust in yourself and become. Now, because we have finalized with the spiritualism, I'm a strong believer in God. I believe in Jesus too. And I believe in Bible, because that is a book that has been leading me and guiding me into the right way. And I want to tell you that there are so many things that are within here that can be able to guide us And there are so many verses which are out there that can be able to lead you and become. First of all, I'll just take you through Luke 17, 11 to 19. I'll not go through it, all of it. But I'll tell you this. There might be some kind of weakness that you're having, and you want to change from it. I want to tell you that these persons went to Jesus, or these people went to Jesus and told Jesus, we're having leprosy and we want to be healed. And when they were healed, they just went away. But there is only one who came back to say thank you. Thank you is a thing that we want to utilize it in your day in, day out. Being thankful to where you are. You might not like it, but be thankful of the life that you have. Saying thank you will just elevate you from one level to another. Now, I want you to set goals, to be a person who's setting goals. And these goals are the things that help us to become. They are long-term, mid-term, and short-term goals. But I want to define this goal today in this term. The G is for God. Always know there is a superpower that placed you to be there, and it is watching you over. There is high ability that is watching you over and wants the best for you. Know there is God. Recognize God in everything that you are doing. The second letter is O. The O is for observation. Observe the things that are happening. Learn from the good things, learn from the bad things. Change what you can and do away with what you can't. But also ask for help. Be observant. Get to know who are destroying you. Get to know who are supporting you. Get to know who are making you lost. Get to know who are assisting you. Be observant in life. The other one is A. A is for accountability. Be accountable. Account your time. Account your action. Account what you are doing. In accountability, these ones help you to be able to have a track record of what is happening. This is the only way that you can be able to gauge yourself, get to know where you're from and how you can be able to move on what you want to achieve. Accountability. Just be unaccountable. And this one in accountability tells me one thing. You need to be a person who knows what they want, do what is supposedly to be done, and has a person that is monitoring. In your line of becoming, you need to have a person who's going to mentor you. You need mentorship. You need someone who's doing what you desire. You need someone who is doing what you want to become, and then you can be able to become. In accountability, you need to know what you want to become and know who is doing that. Approach them and ask for help. Ask for help. Asking for help is a thing that gets to help us within our inabilities. And the last letter is love. Love yourself. Love what you're doing. Love others. And within the point of love, you'll not have any condemnation. You'll not be able to condemn people. You'll not be able to just have regrets because you love it all. And what you don't love, you'll just get to love what you just achieved, and you're going to live in a positive way. And when you have love, the Word of God says this, that God is love. when you have love, you have God. And how can you say that you love God if you cannot be able to love others? And when you have love, you can be able to forgive. Forgive yourself for the mistakes that you did. Forgive yourself for the past life. And forgive yourself for what has gone wrong. And put God first in everything. Now, I want us to discuss in one thing. As we said, there is God. Just believe in Jeremiah 17, verse 7. It says, "Blessed is the one who places the trust in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him." Place your confidence not into people. Because when people fail you, you start having grudges. But when you have your trust in God and in Him, then you're going to say what is in Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And in Ephesians 3:20, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." You can trust that God is working things in you. You can be able to trust that God is going to enable you to become what you want to become, to achieve what you want to achieve. And then you can be able to just know that. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says this, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your plans straight." Remember, the goals are plans. For them to become, just get to know that there is God. There is God that will enable you. And what are you going to do? You do what David did in Psalms 20 verse 4. "May He give you the desire of your heart. The desires you had, make all the plans succeed." God is going to make your plans to get to succeed. Because in Proverbs 16:9, it says this, "In their hearts human plans their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." For you to be established, you need to trust into the Lord. You have to trust unto the Lord. And you have to trust through. He will see you through. Now, don't forget, because now it sounds like I'm preaching, but remember, what has God invested in you? What has God placed in you and in your life? Remember, in Jeremiah, you know what he said? "I knew you before I placed you in your mother's womb, and I destined you for greatness." For this moment, I want us to remember the story of David. David, he was just but a shepherd. He was the most low person, the forgotten, and the person who was just out there, not with them with people, but with animals. And God trained him through that. And when he became a person of passion, because he trusted and valued God so much. And when this Philistine mocked God, he stood and he just faced him and he brought him down. What are you facing? What is mocking you? What is about to terminate you What are these people? Who are they? You know, do not let anyone despise you and look you down. Because Timothy said this in 1 Timothy 4:12. Do not let anyone despise you. Do not let anything bring you down. And when we're speaking about this, I'll speak about the things that the parents in parenting that has happened. That maybe our parents or your parents said bad things, which even today you feel like are useless. The people that you believed they are of virtue, or the people you esteemed high, they said you're useless. They said you cannot make it. And maybe you are a parent and you are aspiring to become a parent too. There is power in the words. You can eliminate those words through the words that you start talking and telling yourself, I can, I am able, I will do it. I am important. They said you are not important. They said you're ugly. They said you're useless. Can you go contrary to those words and start speaking positivity unto you? Because there is power in the words, the power to bring life or death. Can you start having that life and having life in abundance? That you can be able to become a good person and believe in the Lord. Take delight in the Lord, for He will give you the desires of your heart. It is in Psalms 37:9 that says, have delight in the Lord. Rejoice because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And when you are in that point, just enjoy it all. In Ecclesiastes 11, 9 and 10, it is saying, youth, enjoy your youth. Enjoy your life. Enjoy in everything. Do everything that your heart desires. Go and do it all that you can be able to do. And it's having a disclamation saying, but remember, there is judgment. Are you desiring to do things that are going to hurt others? Are you desiring to do things that are going to hurt you? There is judgment to that. But when you desire good things, He will surely fulfill what your desire is. And God is going to come and fulfill your desires. And don't be bitter about your parents. You might be, maybe you came from a background of single parenthood, or your parents did something that is bad. That's not the end. You can have people that you can see as good parents and watch unto them and give a room to that. Don't you have parents, or you do not have parents? God says, I'm the father to the fatherless. He says He's the one God of orphans and provider to them. What do you have? But this doesn't give a leeway to say that parents, even those who are bad parents, you just get to eliminate them and you say they are bad. Now, there's this word that my mother told me, and it has helped me in my entire life. In Proverbs 1:8-9, it says this: hear, my son, your father's instruction. Forsake not thy mother's teaching, for they are graceful. They are graceful garlands for your head, and pendants within the neck. This says this: your father is to instruct you, and your mother is to teach you. These things are important. You need to be instructed on how to go. You need to be taught on what to do. If you don't listen and you don't have anyone to instruct you, then where are you going? What are you doing? You need an instructor. You need a teacher. Have a teachable spirit. Have an instructable soul. And that's the only way that you're going to become what you want to become. I want to finalize by saying this. It doesn't matter, maybe you walked in a wrong turn and you did bad things. There is someone who was known as David. He did so bad things and many things within his youth, and even if God used him in a greater way. But in Psalms 25 verse 7, he asked for forgiveness. God is about to forgive you if you're going to forgive yourself. People are ready to forgive you if you're willing to forgive yourself. People are ready to help you if you're ready to be helped. People are ready to walk with you if you're ready to walk. Just don't remain stuck. Remain focused. Be aware of your strength. Know your weaknesses, your opportunities that are laid there, and what are the threats that are threatening you. That's a topic for another day. But today, remember, don't let the past hold you down. Don't be grounded. Walk. Go and become. There's a story as we wind out within this point. These lepers or the leprosy persons that were chased out of the community because of leprosy, and they were seen unworthy. But they decided that they are now going to be limited. They are not going to stick there, but they are going to go out there and become whom they are supposed to be. What is restricting you? Can you just go out there and tell God to amplify your small deeds, what you can do, and face tomorrow? I hope to see you again. I hope to talk to you again. I hope that we can be able to interact, that we can be able to deal with this leprosy. But remember, you can, you will. If you trust in God, trust in yourself, and those who God have brought in your way. They are destiny helpers, destiny shapers, and destiny connectors. You can and you will. Stay motivated. God bless you. Through WhatsApp, I believe that is the best communication we can give for now. 0788 447285. 0788 447285. We will work together. Any help, we can be able to work together. Even if I don't have, we can have a referral for you.